This is Raise Them Early, a short series for parents who want to support their children early without guilt, pressure, or burnout. Welcome to episode 1. Well, I'm going to begin with something that I see often in practice. Okay, many parents don't set out to limit their children. They are protective, they delay decisions, they always wait until something feels right before they actually, do it. However, development does not always wait like adults can. As a result, opportunities quietly narrow because the window of easy access or easy entry has passed. Now, this conversation is not about pressure, it's actually about understanding timing. I work with parents and children of different ages, across different backgrounds. Serious parents, parents who really want to do well, engaged parents. And most times, I often get these responses repeatedly. Things like, we didn't want the child to be distracted, we wanted school first, we wanted the child to grow up first, or we can try that later. These are all very good and reasonable positions. However, from a developmental perspective, some skills are easier to support when exposure is early. Not because the child is dull, but because as your child grows older, the brain is wiring, the body is developing, and this brain and body become less flexible as the child grows. Now, when psychologists talk about early exposure, we're not talking about forcing a child to do an activity or some intense activities or trainings. No, early exposure is simply about having early contact with certain experiences without any form of expectation of performance. Now, this helps the child to become familiar with the activity. It helps the child to build comfort, and not fear over that particular activity. This also helps build basic coordination and interest in the activity. And then they can now later decide if they actually enjoy that activity or not. Now, exposure is not about leaving children unattended, unsupported. No, it is about allowing new experiences with adults present and attentive. During the process, there is no labeling, no pressure, no expectation, just access. In many African homes, exposure is seen as something extra. There is this assumption that exposure requires a lot of money, special schools, foreign systems, and all of that. But in practice, what actually makes the difference is not wealth, but whether a child had early repeated exposure to an activity. It could be something as simple as allowing your child to participate in a church or community dance group, engaging a local music teacher. It could be allowing board games at home. It could even be as simple as speaking your mother tongue consistently at home. Exposure doesn't have to be impressive for it to be effective. It could be something ordinary, but yet it matters. It just has to be available. Now, a helpful way I want you to think about exposure is to see it as a set of options that you're presenting your child with. It doesn't commit the child to a particular one, rather, it just keeps certain options alive and open for the child to choose from anytime in life. The truth is that as children grow older, some options will naturally require more effort. And this is why you hear many adults say, "Oh, I wish I started earlier." Well, this conversation is not about doing everything early or getting everything all right. No, it's actually about trying one thing, opening one door, exposing your child to one new experience. Here is one boundary I want you to hold on to. You are not choosing your child's future by exposing them to experiences. Rather, you are deciding what options remain alive. Now, if your child stops later, that is not failure. But if they never had the chance to even start or enter, that is the real limitation. After this video, I want you to do one simple thing. Look at your child's life and ask yourself, what is that area that I am yet to expose this child to? Then afterwards, I want you to choose just one low cost, low pressure experience and give them access to it. Trying does not mean they are committing to it. No. Just observe, just watch them. No pushing, no expectations, just access. Well, in the next episode, we'll be looking at why some children or many children struggle with attention and learning. Not because they are dull, lazy, or difficult, but because their bodies have not been trained to sit, to focus, and engage effectively. If this conversation was helpful, as I believe it was, I want you to subscribe to this channel, and I want you to remember, early exposure is not pressure. Simply thoughtful support applied early. Thoughtful support applied early. See you in the next episode. Thank you.